Hi, everyone. Welcome to Social Impact Speech Workshop. So, today we're doing day number one, and we'll talk about what is social impact. So, first of all, we'll think about the definition of social impact. We will look at some examples, then, how we can make an impact, what is social impact theory, and after the key takeaway, you'll have some tasks to do in your workbook. So, first of all, what is social impact? Social impact means creating change in the community or the world. So, if you make some kind of change by your action, by your speech, you made social impact. So, let's think of some examples. But before that, um, social impact can be positive, meaning that you create positive change with your actions, or it can be also negative, like if there was some negative behavior or negative change that was caused. But today, let's focus on the positive one. So, first of all, I'd like to give an example of I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr. So, what happened is that in 1963, during the civil rights movement in the US, Martin Luther King Jr. gave his iconic speech advocating for racial equality and justice. So, the impact was that his speech inspired millions of people, united people across races, and contributed to significant changes, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Why it matters? It showed us how powerful words can bring people together to fight injustice. Another good example of social impact created by speech is the United Nations Climate Action Summit speech done by Greta Thunberg. So what happened is in 2019, 16-year-old Greta Thunberg gave a fiery speech at the United Nations criticizing world leaders for their inaction on climate change. And her speech made a dramatic impact. She mobilized means kind of set to move. So because of her speech, millions of young people started kind of became active worldwide, and they joined the climate strike movement and demanded environmental reforms. And why it matters to everyone is that it demonstrates that even young voices can make big difference when speaking passionately about an urgent issue. How about in Japan? Maybe you all know Yukichi Fukuzawa and his advocacy for education in Japan. So in 19th century, Yukichi Fukuzawa gave speeches and wrote extensively on the importance of education, equality, and modernization during the Meiji era. And his ideas inspired Japan's rapid modernization and social reforms, emphasizing education as the foundation, like the main thing that we need for personal growth and national growth is education. And he really focused on that and really strongly delivered it in his speeches and writings. And his speeches show that if you share the ideas like with conviction and like constantly talking about the important cause, you can even change the whole country's future. And that is amazing. And sometimes people worry, well, all those famous people can do that, but I cannot. But that's not true. Anyone can make social impact, and you can do it too. So, how is the question? How can I do it? Well, I think the important thing, there are two important things: theory and practice. So, theory, we will learn about like how does it work, like in ideas. And then practice will mean like you practice your speech, you practice your gestures, you practice in front of the mirror, in front of your phone. And the more you practice your speech, the better you become at it, and you will be successful. First of all, though, let's learn about the social impact theory. The social impact theory was created by American psychologist Biblatane in 1981. And it basically talks about how we make the impact. And in his theory, Biblatani explains how individuals or groups can influence each other and create change. So there are three variables of social impact theory. There are three important factors: strengths, immediacy, and number of sources. What does it mean? Let's take a look. So strengths means that the influence depends on the importance of power of the source. So for example, if you have, and in this case, source means source of information. So you have respected experts, charismatic leaders, and famous people talking about this. So if someone is powerful and talking about this cause, many people are likely to believe him or her. Immediacy means the proximity, being close in time, space, or relationship. Excuse me. And that also affects the impact. And then number means the more sources of influence, the greater the impact. Let's discuss this in more detail. So first of all, we have strengths. Strengths means the influence depends on the importance of power, the importance or power of the source. So as I mentioned earlier, respected experts, charismatic leaders, and it covers various like factors like size, intellect, wealth, dynamic, situation-specific relational components, like belonging to the same group. So how can you apply this to your speech? Maybe you're not a powerful leader. You're just a high school student. So how can you use that? Remember this when choosing your subject. So if you're passionate about something or well-informed, like you know well, that automatically gives you strengths and it will make your message stronger. So another thing that you can do is to stand straight. So your posture immediately gives you kind of impression of strengths. So when making a presentation, if you sound confident and powerful, like you know well about your subject, you're really passionate and energetic, that is strengths. So for example, if you're passionate about sports, your personal experience can make your speech more authentic and powerful. So how about the next point? Next point is immediacy. And what does it mean exactly? It's like urgency. So it means being close. So, and again, time, space, relationship. So think about topics or issues that are really important to everybody now, or really important to you, like something that we really care about at the moment. Remember Greta Thunberg with her climate change speech? We all care about climate change. So it's important to everyone. And it's a very urgent issue. If we don't do something now, the earth will, be, um, there will be, well, hopefully we will still be here, but maybe we will not be able to survive. So we're all worried about it. So that gives her speech immediacy. So example here again, we all care about the environment, so you can discuss climate change and how it affects our lives directly, pollution, loss, or biodiversity. And last point here, last but not least, number. Number means the more sources, the greater the impact. So the more people hear your speech, the higher the chance that you will make the impact. But also, it's about the numbers that you include in your speech. So if you include diverse perspectives, not just like, I think so. If I think so, maybe you believe me, maybe you don't. But if I say, oh, and some famous people think that as well, and I think so, and the data, like statistics, show us this and this and this, that so many people also think the same way. So in this case, you can amplify the effect of the facts or of the information that you're delivering. And that will also make a stronger impact. So combine the personal story with scientific data, famous quote, and a variety to add variety and depth to your speech. So let's recap here. 3 variables of social impact theory: strengths, immediacy, number. How strong is your message? How close is your message? And how many people share the same message? So the key takeaway today is, first of all, social impact starts with understanding how your words and actions influence others. And anyone can make social impact. Yes, you can do it too. By applying social impact theory, you can choose a speech topic to make your speech relevant and ensuring your message resonates with your audience. So as homework, or task, please click on the link for your workbook. And as we go through this workshop, try to don't make too many copies of your workbook. Try to keep everything in the same place. So the workbook will be used throughout the whole workshop. So today, what you can do is to think of some examples of social impact. It can be someone that you know personally. It can be like an example that you heard on the news. It can be something that you heard from a friend. Just think of some examples. You can do it in English or in your own language as you like. But of course, since we're trying to make an English speech here, try to do it in English. But if it's too hard, it's okay. You can write in your own language. And the second point, try to check your understanding of the social impact theory. How do you understand strengths, immediacy, and number concepts? Take some notes in your workbook. You can print out your workbook and take notes by hands if you like. Some people like that. But if you also prefer to type it into your notebook or your laptop, then sure, just do that. So it's up to you. And try to complete them before the next lesson. And I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. So thank you very much for watching.